Hello, and welcome to Now Network News, coming to you from our studio here on the downtown Clarksville Square. Now we're talking. This is your go-to community affairs podcast where meaningful conversations spark action and inspiration. The conversation starts now. I'm Jerry Neese, and I'm with Rod Powell, who is the president of the Alpine Helen Volksmarch Club, and Bryan Meckley, who's the treasurer of that same club. If you all would, please explain just in general terms what a Volksmarch is for those that don't know or have never heard of it.
Okay, I can take that. I had the good fortune of living in Germany twice. I lived in northern Germany at an army base. I was in the Navy of all things, but there for 3 years. And then 20 years later, went back to Germany in South Germany to Nuremberg. And that's where we started Volksmarching. And you wonder what the term means. If you think about Volkswagen, it's kind of like that, except it's not. Volks means people, but Wander or march means walk in German. So it'd be walking, basically is the event by people or people walking. Volkswagen is people's car. This is people's walking. So that's what it is. And in Germany, people love to walk for daily for exercise. They'll get out and walk across a mountain or across a forest. And it turned into a national sport. And we started walking back when I was there with our young children and enjoyed it. So basically it's walking. Typically, it's a 10K walk. Typically, it's through a forest or some beautiful meadow or beautiful town, and it's 10K. And when you finish the 10K walk, you come back to a starting. It's not competitive, by the way. You go for the enjoyment of walking, and you come back to a finish point, and there you typically have a German beer garden, German music playing, and have fun for the next hour or two, and go home. So we did the first one, and as a family said, "Wow, we'd like this." So we did lots of Volksmarches when we were in Germany and loved it, and now we're bringing it to America, to Helen, as a matter of fact.
I'm going to add to that because I looked to see. I lived in Germany as well and participated in a few. So from what I found out, it started in Europe, primarily Germany, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Austria.
Right.
Those were the main ones that started it. In 1968 is when they got confederated,
Right.
As far as getting a group together and recognizing it as a non-competitive fitness walk.
Right.
And it grew from there. And now there's teams that travel the world from all over that do this.
Right.
So let's, we got that out of the way. Now let's talk about what is your event specifically.
All right. What we did and what we're doing in Helen is we had to first become incorporated in the American Volksmarch Association. Just like in Europe, it's the International Volksmarch Verband, which is IVV. But we became incorporated and a club, and we're a nonprofit, and we established it in Helen. And the walk we have coming up is going to be a beautiful walk. It's a 5K or 10K walk. It's going to be from the Bodensee restaurant, German restaurant downtown. Goes up one walk as it goes up to Unicoi mountain at the top of the lodge and back. And it's a 10K along beautiful mountain streams and just like Germany. It looks just like Germany, and it's really pretty. And you come back and that's your 10K. Or we have an alternate walk for people that don't really want to walk up the hills and maybe challenge somewhat in walking or hiking. We have another walk to the Hardman Farm Trail, which is right by the Chattahoochee River, and it's equally beautiful by the river. And it's only a 5K, which is a 3.1 mile walk, and it's all flat. If you have a child with a baby stroller, you can take them. You can take your dog on a leash. It's really flat and nice, so it's an easy walk. So if you're new to Volksmarching, that would be the one to pick. You can go either one. And it starts at 7:30 in the morning to 10. You got 2.5 hours. You can come in anytime, sign up, and go. You're not racing against anybody, which is kind of crazy in America. It's not competitive, as we said, and you just enjoy yourself, go walk, come back. And when you come back to the Bodensee restaurant, we're going to have German music, German food, German beer, and a big prize drawing at the end. It's going to be lots and lots of fun. So we hope you guys can come out.
All right. This is the 23rd annual Volkswanderung.
Yes, you did that right. It's good.
It's been a while. It's been 30 years. So,
yeah.
But it's coming up Saturday, April 26th.
Yes.
And like you said, it was going to be registration starts at 7:30 to 10, and then it should conclude around 2 p.m.
Well, the walk itself around 12, and from 12 to 2, we're going to have our food and music and beer and have fun and have a good time. And then at 2 o'clock, somewhere thereabouts, we're going to have a big prize drawing, probably 25 or 30 gifts donated by the local businesses. And tickets for that will be for sale there. And all that proceeds goes to a local charity in Helen. So that'll go on. And people really love that. We gave out last year, our second walk, around $4,000 worth of prizes. People walked away happy. So that's kind of the culmination. So 2:30 will be finished. Drawing itself is sponsored by the Rotary Club in Helen, and we're a nonprofit, but we're not a charity. They are, so they take over and run the drawing, and all of those proceeds are totally separate from any registration fee that we have, and those proceeds go to a local charity.
That's right. This year will be the White County Circle of Hope.
Yes.
And again, as Rod mentioned, we're a nonprofit, but we want to have some sort of partner that can give back. So that is our charity this year to do that.
Okay. All right. That's outstanding. All right. Can either one of you, Bryan or Rod, tell us a little bit about how long the club has been in operation in Helen?
It's actually got a long history. Having come back from Germany a long time ago, we're from Savannah, and back in the early days in Savannah, I was going to college at Armstrong and read a newspaper article that said Helen, Georgia is now a Alpine German town, and they have all kind of German things. I said, well, I don't believe that. But so we jumped in the car with the kids, came up here. This was in the late 70s, and I'd be dogged, they had started the town, building the town as a German town. So it went on from there, and we started coming back, and then Helen in 1987 started a Volksmarch club. And I said, I know where that is, And so we started coming up for the Volksmarches. We can't come up for Oktoberfest every year, but we said, we're going to come up for the Volksmarches because we loved it and our kids loved it. And we started doing that. So we came to Volksmarches, and I brought some pins with me. These pins were given out after the walks, and each one has the date on it. And also I wish you could see it, folks, but here's a shirt that was given out. This was 1999. I've got a stack of these at home. But when you finish the walk, typically you'll get a pin commemorating the walk with the date on it. And ours has a happy German walking along in the mountains. And the T-shirt will be the same thing. And those will be available after the walk. So I'm one of these people in my family too. We got to have the T-shirt. So we always got them. So, that's it's gone on. The actual Chamber of Commerce sponsored the club from 87 to about 2007, about 20 years. So there were 20 Volkswanderungs, and then there were no more. The chamber decided that they couldn't do it for whatever reason anymore. And when I actually retired, and we really were upset because they didn't have any more Volksmarches in Helen. So I said, okay, we're going to move up here and do it. So we moved up to Helen, built a house 3 years ago, and started the new club. So this will be the first Volksmarch was just me and one other person and my wife, basically. But now we're built up. We've got a great staff of people. We've got Bryan. We've got a nice board, and this will be our third one. So there was a big gap, and we took the privilege of saying, okay, there were 20 Volkswanderungs before, gap. Now this is the next one. So this is a Volkswanderung, or People's Walk, and it is sponsored by the AVA. So this actually then is the 21st and 22nd. Now this is the 23rd. So we call this the 23rd Volkswanderung, and hope it goes on forever.
Well, there will be a lot of prior military personnel that will hear this, and they will really get involved. So especially those that lived in Europe. So,
Yes.
So and there's a lot that live in Germany, who used to live in Germany, who now live in Georgia because their time of service is over, and they will be seeing this and want to participate. So, Bryan, can you tell us a little bit about your affiliation with the organization?
Oh, sure. So I helped out in the second, or we should call it the 22nd last year. And I actually did the checkpoint station at the Unicoi Lodge. And it was exciting because many of the walkers, obviously, that was their halfway point for their 10K. They were, a lot of them would travel distances. They were tired. So it was nice just to see these people, their appreciation for having the event, for making sure that everything was well marked for them to not get lost in the trails. And I kind of enjoyed reading some of the comments after that walk about how people appreciated how pretty, beautiful Helen was, and, having the nice businesses there. And it was special to me. So I had the opportunity to join the board, and we've really come a long way since that the last couple of years. So as Rod briefly mentioned earlier, we are a true nonprofit at both the federal level, and we are also incorporated within the state of Georgia as a not-for-profit organization. So we get a lot of advantages of some nice tools, being a nonprofit. So we were able to build a nice new website. We were able to work with many sponsors within the city of Helen. So they've been very enthusiastic in helping us out. So we've this year we have a lot of signs. We'll have a lot of signs on the trail. We have advertisements, banners throughout Helen. A lot of our sponsors obviously are hanging those out for us. We have posters in all the windows that we can get to. Right. So we are very excited. I think the scariest part that we have is that we don't know how many people will be arriving. So we want to be prepared for as many people that show up. But just to mention this, we have the basic walk, which is just folks just doing the walk. We provide what we call our AVA insurance just to make sure that everybody is covered. And that's $5. But we have an upgraded package with a complete festival for $25. And that includes the pin, that includes 2 beer tickets, it includes a food ticket, it includes a bunch of gifts and coupons that the sponsors have provided, all in a nice big gift bag.
Drawing.
Oh, and one of the lottery, a $5 lottery ticket too. So there is obviously well more than $25 within that bag itself, but we just made that available. And that helps us pass that money over to the Rotary Club to give to the organizations or to our charities, and to cover all the event costs that we have.
Yep. That's the first 200 registrants will get this bag with all the goodies in it.
We did want to mention that. So we'll take as many people as show up. But as Rod had mentioned, registration begins at 7:30 a.m. and we have 200 bags available that can be purchased.
Oh, okay. One thing too, you mentioned pins, will be available for those that participate. One thing, and I'm going to ask this, when you do this in Germany, a lot of places, when you finish it, give you a beer stein. And I'm wondering if that will be in the future.
I expected you to ask about that. If you hadn't been to Germany, you wouldn't know. But you've let it out of the bag. Yes. This year, we're going to do the standard American T-shirt. It's going to be a very cool T-shirt. But that's not our goal. We needed to gather some sponsors together and gather momentum together. And if we have the outcome we think we might have this year, we had about 75 people last year. We had about maybe 30 the first year. We're thinking maybe 200, give or take, this year. But this year we kind of turned the corner. We've got about 25 or so sponsors and also partners of our club, local establishments in town. And our goal is to do that. It'll be a Helen mug. It'll say 2026. And instead of a T-shirt, you get a real German mug. And I'll just say, this is a sideline. When we were in Germany, we figured that out. Stars and Stripe would post where the walks were. And in Bavaria, there would be 5 or 10 walks every single weekend. But when they posted it, you look along the side, what is the gift you get for winning? So we went over the side and said, we don't want no medals. We don't want no T-shirts. We want a stein. Because a German beer stein, they're worth $30, $40, $50, $60 a piece. Well, for registering for $5, you get a stein. So that's no contest. So we would go all over southern Germany based on who had a Stein. And I've got a collection of Steins at home now, probably 100 of them. And I'll probably give some away. I gave some away last year. And usually it's typically a walker on the side with a little walking stick. It's really cool. But each town would have their name on it. So ours will have Helen on it next year. But that's our goal, is to have a Stein. So our friends that are retired military like myself and like yourself, you'll feel right at home. You'll have a Stein.
That's outstanding. One thing, too, I want to point out, this is a really great event for Helen. Most people think of Helen as a vacation spot with bars and restaurants and the downtown and the entertainment that's available. This gives visitors, whether you're local or even out of state, an opportunity to see a different side of Helen.
Correct.
Yes.
So give me a little bit of an idea of the walk, the main walk, the 10K that goes to the Unicoi Lodge. Where does it traverse so people get an idea of what they're going to see?
Well, I'll go ahead and start with that. So as Rod mentioned, we started the boat and sea for registration, and that will be obviously the final checkpoint too. From that point, we provide a little map just so folks can walk through Helen, and they'll be walking up Helen a few blocks and going up to the Unicoi Park, the Unicoi Hill Park, if you're familiar with that in Helen. And that is the trailhead for the Unicoi, the Helen to Unicoi Trail. Now, from that point, we have markers, trailblazers. We work directly with the state park, so our group goes out. We help put up replacement trailblazers. We have it well marked. But we're putting up signs just to make sure that there's no confusion with bike crossings and other trails, and just to help promote our club. So we're well marked all the way up to the Unicoi Lodge. From that point, we have a checkpoint station. Folks can go inside, use the restrooms. They can get water refills. They can use the restaurant if they want to stop by, gift shop, things like that. I think there will be some sale items, kind of what Rod was brought with them, that might be available at the Unicoi Lodge.
Okay. All right. So it's mainly a little bit of town and then a lot of nature, and then you come back to town.
Yes, and it's that combination. Now, as Rod mentioned, Jordan, being part of the Rotary Club, I also support some other clubs within Helen, and there are a lot of fun clubs about the tubing events that you probably saw in February. So that's all some of the stuff that we do. So I'll stand in the Chattahoochee and pull people out of the water, and we have a good time. And that's a good side of Helen that people like. But as you had pointed out, this is more of a family side, an exercise for people to get together, still having fun at a party, still have a couple of beers when you're done, but we're promoting a different side of Helen with sharing the folks that go into Helen and enjoy the businesses.
All right, let's recap on the registration and the cost so people know, and then how long the event will last.
Basically, you come in and the American Volksmarch Association charges us $5 basically to register people. And really all of that is liability insurance. So that's for this day and time, that's understandable. So the basic charge to walk is $5, but it's insurance coverage. After that, we have an additional $20, or we call it a bundle. You can take that $5 and $20, put it all together, and it's $25, and you get the whole works. You get a pin, a commemorative pin, and it's like most people, they want to bring home something. So the pin goes on your hat, like I've got my old hat here from Germany. All those pins are from walks and things like that. So you display that in the future. And after the pin, you get food. The Bodensee restaurant is going to cook up a bunch of Bavarian food for everybody. And also 2 German beers will be available. That's also included in the price. And then also a $5 prize ticket. At the end, we have a huge prize drawing, and you'll have a ticket for that for the raffle the Rotary's doing. So you probably get about $50 worth plus $50 worth of value for your $25, because it includes the whole 9 yards. So we're hoping that most people, and we're a nonprofit, so we don't really have a whole lot of money. So we have to charge you. We'd love to just give it all away, but we can't. But it's a great deal and a whole lot of fun. So that's basically the cost. It takes, if you walk the 10K, it'll take you about 2 hours if you're in fairly decent shape. If you walk the 5K, especially the lower 5K to Hardman Farm and back, that's less than an hour probably to do that walk. And that's 3 miles. The other is 6 miles. So that's in total. And if you decide you don't want to stay for the festivities, you can finish. You go back and you'll come to me. I'll sign if you have a walk book, and that's part of the deal. In Germany, you have a book where you stamp your book, and we've got those stamps and we've got the books. So you Germans out there, come on, bring your book with you. We'll stamp it when you finish. And if you decide to go after that, that's fine. If you decide to stay for the beer hall and the beer fest, and it's pretty much a miniature Oktoberfest. We hope you stay and have a good time, because last year everybody had a great time, and it's a family event. It's not all adults. Just bring your kids. You can bring your dog, as long as your dog doesn't bite. Bring your dog on a leash, and have a great time.
I just want to mention one thing. You mentioned about coming back and getting your book stamped, and that was new to me. So going to an event and having a hike sounds fun. But what I noticed that certain people that would travel out of state for maybe a sister club would have either an event and or a distance book. And we would officially stamp it as part of being an AVA club. And these people had books that just had, thousands and thousands of hiking miles that they had stamped from across the country or the world. And the event books were all the different walks they took. So it was kind of something interesting that people want to get these books stamped and they want to fill them up. So we will actually be selling the official AVA event books, distance books, those nice little vinyl covers. And if you walk a lot, we actually have the little filler sheets. And I thought that was kind of interesting. We'll set up a little, right around a little booth of just the history of this, along with all the examples. And that to me was very unique that you don't see for any other walk.
True. That's where the thrill for a lot of people too is, gee, I've now gone to all 50 states. So once you sort of get bit by it, you love it. So, but when you come get your book, we sell the books here too. So,
all right. So people will need to look out for the 23rd annual Volkswanderung.
There you go.
On Saturday, April 26th, registration will begin at 7:30, and it should be concluded as far as the walk goes by 12, and for the whole event by 2 p.m. that same day. I want to thank Rod for you coming in, and Bryan, and informing the community about the 23rd annual Volkswanderung.
You're getting better at that.
I'm getting better. It's been a while. And we want to thank our listeners for tuning in to the Now Network News podcast. Now we're talking.